Hi everyone, my name is Amisha and I will be starting off our presentation. Today our group is presenting on the collapse of HIH Insurance in 2001, one of the biggest corporate failures in Australia with debts over $5.3 billion. The collapse had serious impacts on employees, policyholders, shareholders, and the wider economy. It highlighted how critical ethical behavior and good governance are, especially in accounting and finance. In this presentation, we will explain what we went wrong and the key lessons we can take from it. Let's begin with how it all started.
So, for the background of the SIH insurance established in 1968 grew to be one of the largest general insurance, growing through several aggressive acquisition and overseas options. SIS has grown to include FAI insurance. By the late 1990s, the company had stretched its presence into US and the UK, yet this growth was distinguished of fragile financial edifice and ever riskier underwriting. By early 2001, HI was struggling under a large amount of liabilities and a liquidity crisis. The company went into voluntary provisional liquidation on March 15, 2001. A commission of inquiry headed by Justice Neville Owen was appointed to inquire into the causes. The finding was damning. Executives from HIS, including the CEO Ray Williams, engaged in deceptive and dishonest conduct, including manipulating financial results to the hide losses. Some of the key findings of the commission were the board had failed to exercise proper oversight, bring less than fortnight about the finances, auditor failures by the Anderson, the outside auditor. So for the analysis of the ethical issue, there is unethical conduct and deceptions. Uh, s- Central to the collapse of HIH was with unethical behavior. Executive lied about debts, inflated the values of assets, and withheld key information. Unethical behavior of balance sheet deals were used along with the inflated reserves to mislead investor, breaking down principle of the truthfulness and openness. On, Under deontological ethical obligations such as honesty and equity should provide a guiding spirit for business conduct, regardless of potential consequences. So, for conflict of interest and inaction by the board was not an independent body and did not exercise proper oversight of a decision making. Many of the directors had relationship with management, personal or professional, and ethical with the agency theory that requires directors to be acting in the interest of a shareholder and overseeing management. Lack of potential skepticism, the director of HIS did not cast a critical eye over activities and allowing the player Ray Williams and others to use their power undetected. So on professional integrity of the auditing as well, HIS external auditor Andrew Wilson to raise red flags about vital financial irregularities. The company were at the moral crossroad protecting a big client of professional ethics. Their kindness was held to be a violation of the standard of accounting professional. So for the decision of implication of key ideas, uh, effect and the corruption, cooperation and the stakeholder. Attacks insurance destroys shareholder value and trigger lawsuits. It affects more than 1.6 million policyholders, including those householding health and professional indemnity insurance. Total loss of confidence in the company because of shady decisions and obfuscated reporting by the management. The loss was catastrophic for shareholders. Most of them were small investors who bought into HIH growth story. Concern about cooperative right disclosure also followed its downfalls. Implication of the manager and the auditor. Even more usually for a embedded corporate executive, CEO Ray Williams went to prison for having misled investor, weak as a charge as they may see. TikTok managers elsewhere were hit with the civil fines. Anderson Names was challenged globally, in particular by its role in Enron failure. As has also a wake-up call on the question of auditor independence and of a stronger side. Wider implication of the Australian economics. Uh, the collapse of Athens had a cascading effect. Public confidence in reporting on financial statement has decreased. Shrinking insurance market, particularly in small businesses and professional indemnity parts of the sector. High regulatory compliance burden for all the listed companies. Under stakeholder theory, companies are responsible to not only the stakeholder but also to the employee, community, and the environment. As did not strike a balance between the interests, and this had a damning social and economic consequences. Educational ethical heritage. Atta was used to unfocus on businesses ethics, teaching it brought needed attention to the necessity of the ethical leadership and not just compliance. Values such as probity, accountability, and transparency were once made prominent in the reform of the Australian government.
Thank you so much. So I would like to emphasize more on the impact and consequence of the collapse. So the people who used to work in the SIS, all of them lost their jobs, and the customer who had insurance on the company, they could not claim it back anymore. The investors, the investors and retirees face financial ruin. So those people who invested in the share of the company, they lost, and the people who trusted the company for their retirement, they lost everything they had. And it also lost the trust in the public about the companies because they thought SIS was so faulty, so they started doubting other companies as well. And it's not only in Australia but globally, all of the people were doubting each and every company, like how the audit system is working, and is it really that they're not sure that if they can trust the company anymore or not. So moving forward to regulatory and legal reform. So what are the things that has done at the time of collapse? So the one of the thing happened was Royal Commission investigated. So it was a government investigation process which looked inside what went wrong with the company, and another system called CLERP9 was introduced, which aimed for better audit, governance, and financial reporting. And the Asia given stronger power and responsibilities. And the auditors were made independent, so they were not biased, so they did not have any ties to any company. So which company they do audit, it's gonna be same for every company and every audit. So for the conclusion of this presentation, I would like to hand it over to my friend Aman.
Thank you so much. And for the conclusion, as we can learn, the collapse of HIS shows how important honesty, strong rules, and good leadership are in business. It failed because of poor decisions, weak oversight, and a lack of ethics. This event teaches us that ethics and good governance are not just nice to have, they are necessary for any company to survive and succeed. Even though new laws were introduced after the collapse, what really matters is the people in the business choose to do right things. Future leader must be open, take responsibility for their action, and lead with honesty and integrity. And for the reference, we have already included in our slide. And that's it. That's it for our presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.